Hey, welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to tackle something that, let's be honest, trips up a ton of people. Adding and subtracting negative numbers. It seems simple, but there's a trick to it, and by the end of this, you're going to be a master. So, let's just demystify this thing once and for all.
So, it always starts with a question like this, right? Why on earth does subtracting a negative number suddenly turn into addition? It feels like it breaks all the rules. But here's the thing, it doesn't. There's a simple, elegant logic behind it, and in the next few minutes, we're going to unlock it together.
Okay, so to get started, we need to get our bearings on the playing field, which is the world of real numbers. And the best way to do that, our number one tool, is the number line. Seriously, think of every single math problem as a little journey on this line. Adding and subtracting just tells us which way to go and how many steps to take. All right, first up, addition. You know, we can actually break down every addition problem with negative numbers into just two super simple scenarios, two basic rules. Get these two down, and you're pretty much halfway home.
So, here's scenario number one, and trust me, it's the easy one. What do you do when you're adding two numbers and, yep, their signs are exactly the same? You know, like a positive plus a positive or a negative plus a negative. The process? It's just two dead simple steps. First, you just ignore the signs for a second and add the numbers. That's their absolute value. And then for step two, you just slap that common sign they both had right back on. That's it. Seriously.
Okay, let's see this in action. So we've got -4 plus -7. The signs are the same, right? Both negative. So step one, add the numbers. 4 plus 7 is 11. Step two, keep their sign, which is negative. Boom! The answer is -11. See? Simple. All right, let's move on to scenario number two. What happens when the signs are kind of fighting each other? You know, when you've got one positive and one negative all mixed up together? And again, it's just a two-step process, but this time you find the difference between them. You just subtract the smaller number from the bigger one, ignoring the signs for a moment. And for step two, you look at which of those two numbers was bigger, you know, further from zero, and you take its sign. That's your winner. Let's make that real with an example. Okay, so we've got -9 plus +4. Signs are totally different. So, step one, find the difference. 9 minus 4 is 5. Step two, which number was bigger? The 9, right? And what was its sign? It was negative. So our answer is -5. Okay, so we've pretty much got addition on lock. Now let's talk about subtraction. And I've got some really good news. If you can do what we just did, if you can add, then you already know how to subtract. Yeah, for real. You just need to know this one little trick, this one secret identity that changes the whole game. And here it is. The big secret is called add the opposite. And what that means is that every single subtraction problem is secretly just an addition problem wearing a disguise. So instead of subtracting a number, you just add its opposite. This is the key, you guys. We're going to turn every subtraction problem into an addition problem, and we already know exactly how to solve those. And check this out. This brings us right back to that question from the very beginning. So on the left, you see the original problem, +4 minus -6. Okay, using our new rule, we keep the first number the same. That's the 4. We change the subtraction sign to an addition sign, and we take the opposite of the second number. What's the opposite of -6? It's +6. And just like that, the problem becomes 4 plus 6.
Let's do that one more time, just to lock it in. We've got -7 minus +2. So, we keep the -7, we change the minus sign to a plus sign, and we find the opposite of +2, which is -2. So our new problem is -7 plus -2. And hey, that's just an addition problem. Signs are the same, so we add 7 and 2, which is 9, and keep the negative sign. The answer is -9.
All right, you've seen the rules, you've walked through the examples. Now it's your turn to get your hands dirty. Let's do a few quick fire problems just to make sure all this stuff really sticks. Okay, first one up, +3 plus -8. What do you think? Remember, the signs are different, so what does that mean? What are the steps? I'll give you a second to think about it. And the answer is -5. How'd you do? Yep, because the signs were different, we find the difference. 8 minus 3 is 5. Then we look at the bigger number, which was 8, and we take its sign, which was negative. Awesome job. Okay, ready for the next one? Let's do -5 plus -4. It's addition. And what do you notice about those signs? That's it. It's -9.
The signs are the same, so we just add the numbers together. 5 plus 4 is 9, and we keep that common negative sign. See? You're totally getting the hang of this.
Okay, now for the grand finale, a subtraction problem. +6 minus +9. Don't forget that secret trick. Add the opposite. So what does this problem really become? And the answer is -3, because we used our trick, add the opposite. The problem turns into +6 plus -9. Now it's just an addition problem with different signs. We subtract 6 from 9 to get 3, and since 9 was the bigger number, we take its negative sign. Perfect.
That was awesome. You've seen the logic, you've done the practice. Now let's just boil this whole thing down to the 3 simple rules you need to remember. Here they are, the whole thing in a nutshell. For addition, if the signs are the same, you add the numbers and keep the sign. If the signs are different, you subtract the smaller number from the bigger one and keep the sign of the bigger one. And for any subtraction problem, you just turn it into an add the opposite problem, and then you just follow one of those first 2 rules. That is literally the entire system.
So, what's next for you? Well, the absolute best way to make sure this sticks forever is to actually use it. So here's your final challenge. I want you to pause right after this, grab a pen and paper, and make up 2 of your own problems. 1 addition, 1 subtraction. Solve them using these rules. Go on, prove to yourself that you've totally got this. Thanks so much for watching The Explainer.